Hey guys, it's John, ReelBlue Custom Rods. Welcome back to the channel. Today, as part of my 12 days of Christmas, I thought today I would throw in a little live stream. Hopefully you guys are able to join and watch it. And if not, hopefully you guys are able to kind of catch it on the back end. And whoever just joined, thanks for joining today's live stream. Today I'm going to do I thought I would do a weave or a braid wrap on a live stream, and maybe you guys can kind of pick out the country that I'm gonna do this one with, but just kind of show the process. If you guys haven't seen me do some of the weave and braid, weave or braid wrap, whatever you like to call it, I just thought I would go ahead and show it. So I'm gonna use 4 colors today. For one, 4 colors that are on one country's flag. Now, of course, these 4 colors are probably on other countries' flags as well, but this is a Pro Wrap Color Fast 525, basically a good green color, kind of a good forest green color. Color Fast 101, a yellow. I thought about possibly going with 119. This is probably more traditional yellow. This is more probably got a little touch of a neon to it. One, I'm just running low on this one, but 2, I think this one is just closer to the color in the flag as I'm looking at it. And then 325 red, again, Pro Wrap Color Fast, and then 862. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing you see, I have some marks here, and so I just have these. I'm going to use the red marks, and I have them on both sides of the blank, right? And so I'm going to use the red marks. The little tick marks next to that is just when I'm doing a different style of wrap. But I'm going to use the red marks. I've been asked a lot of questions. Actually, I'm going to say that for another video. I've been getting a lot of questions about doing, how do I come up with the measurements for the wrap? And I think what I'll do is I'm gonna hold that off for another video here probably over the next coming days. Hopefully I get it done and up before the 12 days of Christmas are over, so you guys can get it here fairly soon. But without further ado, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these kind of in order. And I think I'm gonna start with the green first. So what I like to do, I think, and what makes the weave wrap or braid wrap a bit different, well, there's a few things that make it different from really any other kind of wraps that we do. But historically speaking, usually when we're wrapping a rod and preparing for some sort of decorative wrap, usually we skip, we'll go like every other, if I'm going down here, I'll show you. So if I'm going down, maybe I'm something like this, right? So I'm skipping every other red dot or mark that I have to get after that wrap. Well, and then I come back down and cross, and then either I use these marks or I don't use those marks, or I come back with another color. But when I'm doing a weave or a braid wrap, my gap's going to get a bit larger there. And so what I'll do is I'll come down, and I'm trying to find the spot, but like 1, yeah. I need to get a bit of a different angle here. And just bear with me. Yeah, so I'm skipping 2. And it moved on me a little bit. So again, it's all about getting the angle here. There we go. I think I should be good there now. A little too much pressure. And it just takes me a second here to make sure I'm getting my marking thing. Make sure I'm getting my markings correct. Skip 2. Skip 2. Skip 2. And then skip 2. But that is quite, all right, It's all about starting, man. It's all about the beginning of your wrap back here. One. We get the right angle. Man, I'm telling you what, I feel slightly embarrassed here. My angles are moving. Hold on a second, guys. All right, here we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 3. All right. And let me just fart around here for a second and come back and adjust this one a little bit. And again, I'm just getting this spot where I want these at. That is kind of drastic, man. Holy smokes. It never takes this long. I'm sorry, guys. The point, again, I'm just trying to get my thread started. And of course, this happens when you go live, which is always great. So I'm just trying to get my thread started, right? So let me just go it this way here. Bingo. 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 And then again, come back. We'll move that with our burnishing tool a little bit. Well, all right. So here's what we're going to do. 3, 3, 3, 3. And again, 3, little point there. Holy smokes. Actually, we're going to do something different here. If I cross here, 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 there we go. And then essentially right there. There we go. All right. So what I just did, sorry, is I skipped 3 instead of skipping 2. And I know it took me way too long to do that. So basically what I did is I went down and I just kind of skipped 1. So I applied my first, I hit my first cross point. And speaking of that, just because I tend to do this all the time, and it doesn't really matter for this wrap, but let's just say that this red mark that I'm putting on the tape is the top of my wrap, and the blue marks that I'm going to put on the tape are the bottom of my wrap. I find this to be extremely helpful when I'm doing decorative wraps, especially when you start coming back and forth and you're doing a lot of different things. It helps me remember which way I want to work, especially when I start doing down and, just downs or just backs versus a down and back. And I'm just using just a couple of Sharpies, right? So as you noticed, I took 1 wrap, I came across the top like I did here, and then I skipped 3 spots. So every 4 spot is where I laid that thread at. Now, that wrap is what I'm gonna call essentially my center line of the wrap. And so now what I'm gonna do is, and what I mean by my center line. So let's say I was going to do 7 wraps of the green. Then I would put 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. That's what I mean by my center line, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and we're going to go on the top. And wrap this thread on here. And then once I have the thread on, I just come down, kind of go to the far end of the tape. That way I've given myself plenty of room to kind of work back on that tape when I start taking up room. And then I'll do the same thing down here. And that's 2 on top of the center line. All right, and then again cut. And notice I'm not coming back with the thread, right? So I'm not wrapping back down on the thread. I'm just moving in one direction for this wrap. Not for the entire pattern, just for this portion of the pattern. And so this will be 3 on top. And I also find talking to myself, like 3 on top, 4 on top, whatever, helps me remember how many thread wraps I've done. Let me know in the comments block if you guys do the same thing. I find that kind of funny sometimes, but if it helps, it helps. All right, and then we're going to go 4 on top. So that's 4. And I'm going to do 1 more, I think. And this will be 5 on top. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's going to be what I'm getting ready to do. That might be pretty thick. So if I go 3, 6, I'm just counting in my head 3, because I want to use all 4 colors in one of the wraps at the same time. So in one of the passes, I want to use all 4 colors, and I want to use 3 of the colors 2 times. So to do that, I'm going to make 3, 6, 7. 7 times 3, that's a lot. Holy smokes, that's a lot. All right, so let me just go down here on number 5. I may have one that comes out to be a little thicker, and if that's the case, no, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to keep it right. 3, 6, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then 14. But I like things at 15. So, you know what? Let's just keep going with this one. So this is going to be 5. So this is 5. What you just heard me doing, talking about, counting the numbers. I'm counting the numbers of thread, right? How many wraps I would make. And the reason why I'm counting how many wraps I would make is ideally, I want all of these wraps that I'm going to make, I want them to be the same size. Could you have one wrap pattern larger than the other in a braid or a weave wrap? Of course you could. I think it just looks better if it's symmetrical, which means every wrap you make has to have the same amount. So that's 5 off of the center line. So let's go on the bottom now really quick, because I'm kind of changing things mid wrap here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put 5 more down here. That'll give me 11, but I'm not done with this green. So that's 1. This will be 2. Again, not a lot of pressure with this right hand right here. Not a lot of pressure. I'm not pulling the spool super tight. Just enough pressure. Lay the thread down next to the thread beside it there. So that's 2. This will be 3. This will be 3. All right. And then we're going to come in with 4. Or 5 on the bottom again. So this is now a total of 11 wraps here. And I'm going to put 2 more on the bottom, 2 more at the top for 15, okay? So 2 more on the bottom, and then 2 more on the top for 15. And then once I get these 4 little wraps done here, you'll kind of see where our next move would be on this. And then let me know in the comments block what you guys think so far, if you haven't even seen me do this wrap before, this braid or weave wrap. You know, let me know what you think about the content. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for joining. And thanks for hanging out on this live stream. And if you like the content so far, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I publish videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But during the 12 days of Christmas, I publish 1 video a day every day. And so this is just one of those days today. But I just thought I would fill it in with a live stream instead of a regular long form or short form content. All right, so I'm just packing those threads. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay 2 more passes of the green on top. Right? Okay, so we're going to do 2 more passes with this green thread on top. And also, if you guys are getting any value out of the video or you enjoy the content, please feel free to hit the like button. Let YouTube know that you like the content that I'm showing you guys. That way, hopefully, they'll get it out to other people that are interested in the same sort of things that you're interested in watching. So I'm going to make 1 more pass. One more pass on the top. All right, so we're going to do 1 more pass here. I'll pack the thread, and then I'm going to change it up a little bit, and you guys will see kind of this next step. All right, so now what I'm going to do, we're going to pack the thread. I'm going to put the green away for a minute. And anytime that I'm going to use multiple colors in one of these wraps or one of these passes on this braid or weave wrap, I always like to start with the center color. So if I, in this case, if I was using green, yellow, and red, and I was gonna do 3 bands just like this I did with the green at 15, I would start with the yellow and then work my way out, right? So I made the first wrap, we did 15 wraps with the green going down. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick any spot, any one of these crossing points that are open, right? They're open, there's no thread on them. I'm just gonna pick any one of those. There's no method to the madness. I mean, there can be, but there really isn't. I'm just gonna pick one spot, and now instead of wrapping, let's say from the butt to the tip end, I'm gonna wrap from the tip to the butt end. And in doing so, again, we're gonna start that thread, and then I'm just gonna look for a spot where I can cross over, bam, right there. And then all I'm gonna do, actually that may not be where I wanna be at, right there. Nope, gotta go further out. One, two, three. Don't want to be right there. Yeah, so right here. So there's a cross spot there. 1, 2, 3. Like right there in the middle. 3 on the backside right there, kind of in where I think that might be the middle. All right. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. But I'm going to go, and we're going to do this one a little funky. So I just made one pass with the black. I'm going to make another pass with the black on the top or the bottom. And it looks like I'm going to do the top here. I'm just laying that thread next to that. Remember what I call kind of my center line. All right, and then I'll make a cut. That was on the top. So now I'm going to come back on the bottom, and the black is the only one I'm going to do this with on these 3 wraps. The other colors I'm just going to use 2. So 3. And this is really essentially a fairly easy wrap to do. I think not only is it an easy wrap to do, I think it's a wrap that can bring a lot of character to a build, especially if you're trying to do a couple of things. If you want to highlight the color of the blank you're using, because you're going to end up seeing parts of this wooden dowel, right, when I'm done wrapping. So essentially, you could tie this color, the thread colors you're choosing, in if it's a complementary color, you know, with a rod blank. So you can use basically the rod blank color as an underwrap, or you could add an underwrap to it if you wanted to. So now that I have the black done, I'm going to come back with the red. Again, this was 325 Pro Wrap Color Fast. And we're going to, you know, stay working here with this from the top to the bottom, or the tip to the butt. And we're going to go right on top of this black wrap with 2 wraps. All right, pull that tight, make a cut, and then we're going to do this again. And now what I was saying earlier, this pass that I'm making with these wraps here, the total has to be 15 if I want to keep it symmetrical. And every wrap or pass past this has to be 15, right? If I want to keep it symmetrical, because I did 15 green wraps. So any color combinations that I make have to total 15. So each band has the same width, regardless of which way you're looking at it. So I used the black, I used the red. I'm going to come back with the yellow again. Again, Pro Wrap Color Fast 101. And I'm going to come back on the top here. On top of this red thread that I did. And we're going to do 2 passes. Now, ideally, so 2 things. So 90% of the time, every wrap that I create is going to be an odd number wrap, just because odd numbers tend to look better than even numbers. It's just whatever it is you're doing, whether you're drawing birds in the sky, trees on the ground in the sunset, whatever. Like whether you're drawing, painting, or you're wrapping, whatever. Odd numbers tend to look better than even numbers. So every wrap that I ever really make is always in an odd number, 99.9% of the time. So this one is 15, right? So I told you I wanted to use 5 colors and use 4 colors and use 3 of the colors twice. So the black is the one color that we're only going to use once. And I'm making 2 wraps to get to that 15. And I think 15 is the right size. I really don't want to get any bigger. But because I have an odd number of wraps, 15, but I've got even number of colors that I'm using, having a symmetrical wrap is a little bit difficult here. So I chose to have, all these colors are going to have just 2 wraps on them, but the black, which is kind of our center line, is going to have 3. So in the long run, in this one pattern that I'm doing, the black will be thicker than the red, yellow, and the green. Again, that's 525. But I'm okay with the black being a little thicker. I'm still going to get the look that I'm going for, I think, here. All right, and so now we're wrapping this down here. That's one. And then we'll do it again. And of course, one of the probably most used colors, combinations, if you will, in rod building, tend to see a lot of red, yellow, green, kind of Jamaican colors, Rasta colors, you see that a lot. All right, so that is 2, but this is not a Rasta wrap. This is just the colors that I'm using, and I'm very curious to know if anybody can really kind of guess what flag it is going to be. All right, so now I have the black, red, yellow, and green. Now I'm going to come back with the red, yellow, and green on the bottom of the black. Oops. So 1. One wrap there. that tight. Cut. I'll put some more tape down on that other end here in a minute. And then come back on the bottom again. All right. Okay. Then we'll cut that. And I'm just going to come back in here really quick. Just gently pack these red threads, keep it tight. All right, and then we'll circle back with the yellow again. All right, and then let me see something really quick, because I haven't seen if you guys have been making comments. And usually when you're in vertical, they just pop up at the bottom, but in the horizontal one, nope. Okay, maybe no one's left any comments yet, because I haven't seen any. So hey, if somebody wants to leave a comment so I know that the comments thing is working, would you please do that? I would greatly appreciate it. I'd like to see something pop up down there. It says there's no comments yet, so if that's the case, that's fine. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing answering anybody's questions or anything. All right, so then we got the yellow here. All right, takes care of the yellow, but what I'm going to do really quick, I'm just going to come in and lay a bit of tape down, just kind of make it double-sided, give me some more room. All right, then we'll use the burnishing tool. We're going to pack these yellow threads in a little bit. All right, and then now we're going to come back with the green. All right, and then this would give us a total of 15 wraps for this pass right here. All right, so that's one, and then one more. I'll go down for 2 on the bottom here. Oops, got crossed over. That other one got between the green and the yellow. Okay, and now what we're going to do is pack that. All right, so we're going to pack these green threads in this whole band right here. And again, these colors are a nation's national colors. I will give you a hint. It's from the Africa content. I don't know why I picked this country. I just did. I thought the colors were cool, and I thought the design would come out really good. So I will give you a hint. I'll tell you that it is from the African continent. But anyways, so now we've got that. So this green band, 15 wraps. This multicolored band with these 4 colors from that national flag, 15 bands complete, right? So I went down with the green, I came back with the multicolor. Now I want to go back this way. And that's all this wrap is, man. You work one colored or one wrap down, and then once you finish that wrap, like my first wrap was the green, once I was done with that, I said, okay, then I start from this end, and I worked back with these multicolored wrap going back. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go back in the opposite direction. And as you do that, you start to get these wraps where they kind of overlay each other and they look braided, if you will, or woven in that for that case. One of the other things that I've discovered in doing this weave wrap is I think the introduction of a metallic color does a lot for the wrap in general, right? I don't think you want to have in my personal opinion, I don't think you want to have a lot of metallic color, but I think having a little bit of metallic color does a lot for this wrap specifically. So what I'm going to do, I think, just trying to think how I want to do this. What I want to do is I've got some Pro Wrap Metallic 9300 red, and I think what I want to do is nope. I'm going to put the red away. I'm not going to use the red, but I am going to use 9520 green. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some green. And again, now going back, now I'm left with, 3 crossing patterns. So I just want to find, where my thread will cross another red pattern or another crossing point. And in this case, I'm just kind of doing it like this. But actually, yep, this will work, because I'm going to have green essentially kind of in the middle here. So that's one pass. And we'll do that again. I'm going to come back, one on the top. And one on the top. And then one on the bottom. We'll pull that tight, get that to stick down. And then we'll go right here, one on the bottom like that. All right. So I have that. I'll pull that tight. And then I'm going to set this metallic green off to the side. I don't think I'll use it again, but just in case, I've got it there. And just a light packing of the thread. All right, and now I'm going to come back with the yellow. So the only metallic I'm using is the green on this one. And I'm going to come back with my yellow. Again, this is 101. And we are, this metallic thread, man, does not like to stick to tape sometimes, I tell you, especially this cheap purple stuff that I bought once. All right, and so now I'm going to come back right back on the top. And what I am going to do, what I'm doing here, what I'm trying to do here, is I'm just reversing this previous wrap that I did, and I'm going to do it, I guess, inside out. So I kind of started with the black and finished with the greens on the green on the side. This way, I started with that green metallic on the middle, and then I'm going to kind of reverse my way out where I think I'm going to have the black on the side. Which brings me to a pro tip, or just, I call it a pro tip. It's just my thought on some things here. Another thing that I think that will make your braid or weave wrap stand out is, and sometimes I do it, sometimes I kind of miss the mark on it, But the other thing I think will help make it stand out is if you don't have the same colors next to each other in any direction or any pass that you're going. So what I mean by that is I don't want to finish my last thread on this wrap here. I don't want to finish with a green because I don't like the green next to the green. I want to finish with any of these other colors besides green. And I think the same thing, the wrap that's next to this one going down, I don't want to have a green on the outside. I just think it lends to be not a bit neater, but it almost, I feel like if you have one color laying next to another color, it tends to look like there's a lot of that color on there. And if that's something that you don't want to do, then that's a way to kind of get away from having a lot of one color or making it appear that there is a lot of one color. And that's by making sure you finish with a color opposite of the other color next to it. All right, so we got the yellow done there. All right, and then we're going to go with the red, 2 wraps of the red. Two wraps of the red. All right. Pull that tight. And cut. We'll come back to that again. Another wrap of the red. All right. And then we'll cut that one. And then we're going to come back and do 2 wraps of the black. All right. I'm going to have to put another piece of tape down here on this end as well, here in a minute. And then one more. All right. And then we'll pull that tight. We'll just take our burnishing tool and we're just going to kind of lightly pack that thread in. Just make sure it's on there. We'll get some nice good crossing looks here. And now I'm just going to repeat that again on the bottom. We'll come back down here to the bottom portion of what we're going to call the butt of the rod, I guess. And then we're just going to lay this in next to that green thread. Here we go. And we'll do one more yellow. Actually, let me hold that down that way. And then lay that down right on the outside of that other yellow thread. All right. And we'll pull that tight, cut it. And we'll come back again, a little double-sided or a little tape here, make a double-sided place to hold that thread. All right, and then we're going to come back in with, oh, actually, let's pack that a little bit. All right, and then we're going to come back in with the red. Oh, you son of a biscuit. Son of a biscuit. So this green thread is a little loose and it popped out right there. So don't want to pack it too tight. All right, I'm going to lay that yellow thread right next to it there. Ever so gently next to that yellow thread. I don't want to make that yellow thread kind of pop and move a little bit. All right, that's one. And we'll go back down for two on the bottom here. And if you're just now joining, welcome to the live stream today. Part of my 12 days of Christmas videos. I just thought instead of doing some regular long and short form stuff for the next 12 days from from the 25th on, I thought I would do a little live stream, and I thought I would kind of get a little bit more detail, in-depth explanation into how I do my braid or weave wraps, kind of give you a little, insight to it, and see if it helps you out and if you guys are able to use it. So I'm going to go down now with two of these black, and then that we'll call that kind of rounds complete for the black thread, if you will, after this one more pass. And then, hey, if you guys are getting anything out of the video and you enjoy the content, and you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. Hit that little thumbs up button, man. Let YouTube know that you guys like the content that I'm putting out there and what you're watching. And hopefully that'll help YouTube, get this video out to other people like yourself that are interested in watching this type of content. So whoever just hit the like button, thank you very much. I truly appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to pack this thread again, and I'm just going to do it gently here. I don't need stuff popping and moving all over the place. All right, so that's what I mean by like a little bit of metallic thread can make your this design that you're working on in a braid or weave wrap kind of make it pop, right? So I went down with green. That's our green three. So I went down with 15 wraps with the green. Then I came back on this wrap here with 15 wraps. Started with the black, 3 bands in the middle, and then 2 yellow, 2 red, 2 yellow, 2 green on the outside, on either side of that, top or bottom. And then now I just went back down and I kind of reversed that pattern, it kind of from inside out, if you will, or outside in. So instead of ending with the green, I started with the green. And then notice, like I was saying, I'm finished, right? And I don't have a green next to this green. So when I do the next one, whatever color is on the outside of this one, I don't want it to be a green. So now what I'm going to do, I think I want to try something different. I think now I'm going to go back to that Pro Wrap 9300, the red, and I think I'm going to make a pass with this red. And pretty easy step here. Again, now all I'm doing is I'm coming in and I'm filling in these red crosses, right? So you can tell I've got 1, 2 crosses left in the middle. So I'm slowly running out of real estate here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down, I think right here, right where I suspect that one to be at. About there, right about there, right about there. So I'm gonna lay that red down, that metallic red, and then I'm gonna come back with a yellow. If I can get the yellow to stick to the tape there, I'm going to come down on the top with the yellow. And I think this time, I'm just going to use the yellow. All right, so just like that. And then what I want to do, so that's red is going to be my center. So now I'm going to come back with red again on top of that yellow. All right, so that's like 2. So I want to count 7 off of that center red that I laid down. That's 2. I'm going to come back with the yellow again. This will be 3. There we go, that's 3. Pull that tight. And then we'll come back with the red again. This will be 4. That's 4. And then come back with the yellow. This will be 5. That's 5. And then we'll come back with the red again. And do 6. Pull that tight. And then yellow, and that'll be 7 on top of this red center wrap that we did. Again, remember, I'm trying to achieve 15 wraps. So I had the red for the center, which is 1, and then 7 on top, that gets me to 8. And then now I'll have to repeat that pattern, or this pattern, to get 7 on the bottom. Pull that tight. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take my burnishing tool. We're just going to pack these threads nice and gently. Not a lot of pressure needed here because I am not wrapping this tight at all. And what I don't want to do is move anything. I don't want to move off my center line. I'm just gently using that burnishing tool to go back, right? So now I want to repeat that coming back down. And I'll start off with the yellow. Again, I want to do this 7 more times, right? So this is going to get me a total of 15. Now what I could do, actually, is I could go back down. I'm thinking. I was going to go back down with yellow, so it would just be green and yellow. But what if I just go back down with green? Because I'm not going to end on this side, right? I have yellow to green, so I can finish with green here on this side, I think. And I think this might look okay. I just won't have any black in this one, but that's fine. So 1, and this will be a little harder on the eyes just because that red metallic is dark but shiny, and then you're laying this dark green next to it. It'll be a little harder on the eyes, but it's all right. So now we'll come back here, and we'll do that again. Lay that green right, or that red right next to that green. All right. Pull that tight. And again, come back with the green. So that's 2. This is 3. That is 3. All right. I'm going to come back with the red for 4. All right, so that's 4. Pull that tight. And then 5. This actually looks pretty cool, man. You have the red constant in between the yellow and the green. This actually looks really good. All right, and then one more pass with the red, and then one more pass with the green. So last pass with this metallic red, and then I probably will not be using any more metallic red on this pattern. All right, so coming in right next to that last, or that second to last green there. All right. Pinch that off. And then one more pass with the green. And then we're going to pack this thread. And if you guys are just joining, thank you for joining the live stream. I'm working on a braid or weave wrap. I picked a country out of the African continent for the colors. If you can guess, you think you know what the country is, you can go ahead and type it down in the comments block. All right, or you can wait until I put a title in for this video. Thanks for joining. If it's your first time to the channel, again, welcome. If you're finding the video useful, please, or informative, or you enjoy it, please feel free to hit the like button, man. Let YouTube know that you guys like the content that I'm doing today. That way that, YouTube could hopefully get it out to other people that are interested in this same type of content that you and I are interested in. And that way they can watch and, maybe learn something from the video or provide input to the group or whatever. Again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button, turn on notification. I publish videos 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then Wednesday and Thursday morning at midnight, or at midnight 01, if you will. All right, so that is the wrap, man. So I'm like, what? I'm just over an hour into the wrap. You get 4 pieces. I've kind of created this diamond look, right? And I have 2 more spots. So these 2 spots equate to 4 more wraps. One this way, and then one here, and one here. So what I did here, 4 wraps. The next part of this, 4 more, would take me another hour to do that. And I can cut that time by reducing the amount of thread wraps that I'm doing in each one of these passes, or I can make the time longer, right? So like if these are 15, it's taking me an hour to do 4 wraps. If I cut that down to 12, it's probably going to take me an hour and a half to hour, 45 minutes to get to this point. Or excuse me, it'd take me a half hour or 45 minutes, probably 45 minutes to get to this point. So just food for thought when you guys are planning on doing that. So I think what I'm going to do is, we're at an hour. I know you guys have lives and have other things to do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause there. And I think what I will probably do is I will probably come back and do another live stream later this week, or possibly on Monday, next Monday, just to finish this one build out, and that'll still be part of the 12 days of Christmas, if I'm correct. That might be the last day. So either way, I think what I'll do is I'll pause here, and then the next live stream I come back to do, I will finish this wrap out so you guys can see kind of the rest and where we're going to be at for finishing that. So again, thank you for taking time out of your guys' day to hang out with me. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for joining today's live stream. Got any questions about the wrap, please feel free to leave a comment in the comments block below. I answer pretty much everybody's questions, probably 99% of everybody's questions. So if you got any questions about this wrap or any of the other videos that I've done, or just a question in general about rod building, shoot me a message down in the comments below, and I'll make sure I respond. Again, if you got something out of video, please hit the like button. Let YouTube know that you guys enjoyed the content. And until next time, guys, take care, man. Talk to you later. Bye.